Alright, so what I want to do in this video is give you a few tips on some of the subjects that I touch on Facebook, for instance, and possibly some that I'll share with you guys here on YouTube, depending on if any of them fall under your interest, to hear my thoughts based on those topics, as I shared in my first video the other day called I think wellness and reprogramming, and today's earlier video called was going to be on the turmeric. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to call it, but I mean how I called it, I'm sorry. But anyhow, let me give you some tips on some of the topics that I share, that I also do, which is called health, nutrition, fitness, fat loss, relationships, sex, pet health, etc. And again, I wrote it out, so let me go ahead and tell you what I have. For instance, okay, health, it's going to be breathing exercises and sun gazing. Many people have no idea that they're not breathing. Many of you think you're breathing, you're not breathing. The lack of breathing is causing difficulties. The lack of breathing is part of the reason why you're having difficulties. The lack of breathing is also why it's harder for you to lose fat. The lack of breathing also is causing you difficulty in sleeping. Breathing is very important. Breathing is a real food. Breathing is the highest food you can have. Aside in regards to health, I'm also giving you the next tip in health is breathing exercises is one, and sun gazing. Sun gazing is extremely important. The lack of sun is also a contributing factor to many issues. The idea that you shouldn't get sun, or very limited sun, or stay away from the sun is very poor information. Sun is extremely important. The sun is very friendly. The sun is very great. It's powerful. It's very nutrient. So it's another highly sourced nutritional food, whole food, and doesn't cost you anything but a few minutes per day or longer periods. It all depends. The fact is that sun can be very helpful, very potentially great, very youthful, very anti-aging, very longevity, if that is your thought process. But if you do not get sun correctly, then it can be very harmful. So getting sun could go both ways. Very extremely helpful, or can lead to very dangerous health issues. So you must know how to use the sun, especially sun gazing. Sun gazing, very good for the pituitary gland. So look that up, check it out, and start sun gazing. Breathing exercises. Next is nutrition. Herbs, spices, both fresh and in wild or organic powder form. Eat more herbs, eat more spices. Okay? Eat more herbs, eat more spices in its fresh form, in its natural form. And if you cannot get them, or you want to alternate, which is fine as well, as what I do. I alternate from the fresh to the powder formulas. And some fruits and some wild fruits and some wild herbs and whatnot, it's not available here. For instance, for me in Miami, I cannot necessarily get them. So I get it in a powder form, for instance. So get yourself some wild, preferably powder form herbs, spices, etc. Eat some fresh herbs and spices more often. Organic, preferably. Organic, even better. I mean, wild, even better. For fitness, try working on doing some leg raises, because in reality, sit-ups, ab crunches, ab machines, these ab gadgets, and spending 20 minutes or longer doing ab exercises, it's not necessarily the right way to go about it. To get the right form of abs, the good abdominal muscles, those deep, hard, ripped abs or whatnot. However deep and ripped and defined you want to have abdominal muscles, the way to do it is not by how long you do the ab exercises and doing an hour of cardio. The right way of doing cardio, by the way, is more of a cheetah. Look up a cheetah, see how a cheetah runs. That's more or less of an idea of how I share with people to do cardio. There's a specific form that I share with people on how to do cardio, which is at about I believe it's anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, and you're done with your cardio. And this cardio is that I share with people is more effective for long-lasting fat burning results in comparison to your 1 hour of cardio. There's a lot of studies and a lot of research coming out even more now and showing that these long distance cardio routines is not really beneficial, and either way it puts too much stress, pulls too much cortisol release into your body, which causes excess amount of stress, which makes it very hard for you to lose fat. So it's not really the best thing. So anyhow, what I wrote was doing leg raises, and the reason why leg raises is one of the exercises that I don't necessarily share with people to do on a one-on-one basis, but it is something that you can incorporate because it's not a bad thing. But of course, using your by using leg raises, what's going to happen is you're going to strengthen. You see, what I share with people is muscle balance, and so muscle balance means that you're not neglecting different parts of the muscle. So if you're going to do squats, you're not going to focus just on your quadriceps, because by focusing just on your quadriceps, by doing a squat for instance, you're creating muscle imbalance. Because what happened, you're leaving your hamstrings out of the way. They're not being used very much. What about your calves? They're not really being used. What about your center core, your lower back, your abdominal wall? They're not really being used. So they're being neglected when using a standard squat exercise. There's a form of squat exercise that I also shared that does the opposite. It creates more muscle balance instead of muscle imbalance. And so this exercise, for instance, leg raises, what it does, it uses muscle balance for your abdominal region. But aside from the abdominal region, creates muscle balance because you're also using your lower back muscles. Very important. You want lower back strength. You cannot just have front and weak back, or you cannot have a strong back and a weak front. If you have both of them together, then your core is a lot stronger too. Bend forward, bend back, come up, come down a lot easier, prevent certain issues as time passes. So doing leg raises is gonna strengthen your lower back. It's gonna strengthen your whole abdominal region, your whole lower obliques especially. So that V taper that you see most people have, which is right the lower oblique region from where your belly button is, that V shape, that is going to be part use because you do have a strip of muscle in that area that you can build. And one of the exercises to use for leg is leg raises. Again, I don't share leg raises as part of a routine, but it's something that can be incorporated, so I do promote it. Eventually you want to do it where you're hanging from a bar, not necessarily sitting up. Of course, in the beginning you're going to use a sit-up, a stool to bring your legs up and down, but eventually you want to do it hanging. The next thing is for fat loss. Here's a fat loss secret that many people are still not following very well, and it's based from many reasons, but eliminate chronic stress. Stress equals fat. When there's too much stress, that's going to equal fat. I think I mentioned something like that similarly in the turmeric, as turmeric being a very powerful anti-inflammatory, and when there's too much inflammation, it's harder to lose weight. Well, this is why I put it as my fat loss tip for you, which is eliminate chronic stress. Some little bit of stress daily is fine, no problem, because it strengthens your immune system. Okay, so it's okay, no big deal. But those people who have chronic stress, an abundance amount of stress on a per day, daily basis, it's not good, especially if they're trying to lose weight, meaning fat. pet health. Here is something that still I'm noticing a lot of people still very confused about. But pet health is so controversial because the dog, the cat, the bird, etc., 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 is looked at as something materialistic, something of not much of interest, something of no big deal. Like, it doesn't really mean anything. It's just it's just a piece of paper that as soon as you're done with it, you throw it in the trash. It's just not a big deal. It's just not that important. And the fact is, again, based on my homework and based on my own personal experience, the best way to have communication or to have a good relationship with your dog, okay, is to have communication. And I mean literally communication. In other words, the way I speak to you guys right now, or to someone on a one-on-one basis, is how you want to direct your conversation with them. So you want to be communicative. You want to have communication with them. You want to hug them. Okay? You want to love them. All right? So you want to have conversations with them. You want to have an open communication back and forth with them. You want to hug. You want to love them. And you want to keep them indoors, inside. Okay? In other words, they're babies. They're a baby. So if you have kids, or you're planning to have kids, or you know somebody who has kids, well, it's basically the same way you would raise them as kids. You will also raise them, your dog, as a kid. The thing is that your human kid is going to grow up to be a big boy, to a big man or woman. But a dog, for instance, or a cat, bird, they remain babies always. So whenever you're considering about having a pet, you have to remember that they're a baby for life. Forget about when they turn 2 years of age, they're an adult, or forget when 5 years pass, or whatever it is. Forget that they're suddenly considered by veterinarians, or from history that they're considered to be an adult or a senior. They're always going to be a baby. They're always going to be a baby. And the one thing that I like about, for instance, animals, okay, the one thing that I like about them is that they don't bother with you and I as a whole, based on who we are necessarily on the outside, but they base their relationship to us, for instance, of who we are on the inside. And who we are on the inside is what they want to go along with. It's what they want to communicate with. It's what they want to be around with. It's what they're interested in. It's what they love. It's what they come to have passion with, to stay with, to stick with. So one thing that I really enjoy about them is that they don't focus on you as an outsider. As what is in the outside. Alright? Or in other words, materialistic. They don't view us as a materialistic being, but they choose us based on who we are on the inside, which is something that lacks very much on society and people nowadays. They focus too much on the exterior and they forget the interior of the person. Okay, and then relationship. What I put for relationship is, for men, do not try to understand women. If you are fighting with yourself and you're fighting with her because you just don't seem to understand her, and you're struggling all the time, you want to understand her but you cannot understand her, and you're going back and forth in your head, you're breaking yourself because you just cannot understand her, and you're driving yourself crazy because you want to understand her but you cannot understand her, and you might want to leave her because you cannot understand him. But I cannot understand her, I don't want to be with you anymore, that kind of business. Forget about it. Don't try and understand women. Don't try and understand her. Leave it alone. Don't bother. Leave it alone. It's okay. Just continue loving her. Continue being by her side. Do the best that you can. Okay? Don't try to understand her. There's so much more other things that are more important. Just be by her side. Stay with her. If you're not interested no longer in being with her, then walk away peacefully. Just walk away peacefully. If you cannot maintain yourself with her because you're not in love with her, just walk away peacefully. But if not, don't try to understand her. There's so many other things to do. And for women, do not try to comprehend men. It's too much of a struggle for the woman to try and comprehend why men act a certain way, why men do a certain thing, why men speak a certain way, why men do a certain something, why men do this, do that, say this or say that. Whatever it is, don't try and comprehend men so much. And just like men, don't try to understand women. Don't try to understand women, and women, don't try to comprehend men. Same thing, if it's a woman, if it's with both of you, don't try to also comprehend and understand each other so much. Focus on the other many things. Focus on why you're together. Build it from there. There's no need to be struggling. Take it one day at a time. See for what is now, for what is today. And the last thing is sex. And there is a difference between sex and making love with your partner, whether it's man and man, woman and women, woman and man, whatever it is. Having sex is like running. Number one, making love with your partner, it's like meditation. It's like meditating. When you want to make love with them, meditate. It's a form of meditation. It's a gradual process. Of course, sex is more like running. Alright? So what I put is, for sex, as my tip, is the creative mind can far extend the pleasures between both of you. Explore and let each other's mind become blissful with each other. So again, let me repeat: health, breathing, exercise, and sun gaze. For nutrition, herbs and spices, both fresh, wild, organic, and in powder formula, as an alternative to both or one or the other, depending what you can find or what you can get. Fitness, leg races for lower back, entire core, especially the lower obliques. Okay, leg races are gonna do a whole muscle balance, not an imbalance. For fat loss, eliminate chronic stress. Work on that stress. Eliminate the stress. A little bit of stress is okay, but a lot of stress every day, which is chronic stress, no good. Make it very hard for you to lose fat, and it's going to be very difficult to be sleeping, which sleeping is very important, obviously. And if you didn't know that, sleeping is also very important, which I didn't mention it, but it is. The other thing was, for pet health, talk, communicate, hug, love them. It might seem crazy to many people. They see you talking with your dog, cat, whatever, but if you want to have them understand you and you understand them, both of you have to have a relationship just like you will with your partner or with your child. You have to treat them like your baby, like your human baby, in order to have the best relationship. There's a lot of forms, a lot of techniques to understand for what is called training. So there's a lot of information on that. If you have any questions on that, also go ahead and ask me. And then relationship, men, don't try to understand your woman, and women, don't try to comprehend your man. In sex, have a creative mind. Be creative. I've heard and read a lot of issues between men and women, or women and women, and men and whatnot, who separate from each other because of lack of interest in certain sexual activities, certain sexual gratifications that one or the other does not want to do, or does not do, or cannot do, or won't do, whether it's a place, a location, a method, a way, whatever it is. Be creative. And so what I said was, the creative mind can far extend the pleasures between both of you. explore and let each other's mind become blissful with each other. Just let go. Enjoy each other's partnership. And that's it. And I want to remind you guys that in no way, shape, or form am I a doctor. I'm not a doctor of any kind. I'm just a concerned citizen with many years with experience and knowledge in these topics. I'm self-educated, and I continue learning and I continue sharing. So I'm not a doctor. I'm not no expert. I don't teach anything. I share and I share and I share. The only one that teaches is going to be yourself. You will teach yourself. I share. You teach yourself if you choose to, and then you teach others if that's the way you want to see it. But I share. I don't teach anything. And again, you have any questions, let me know. Don't forget to see my 5th page on my website, healthylifestylesupermarket.info, for the article on turmeric, which tomorrow or the day after I'll be removing it and adding a new article. And maybe every few days I'll be adding a new article again on my 5th page of my website. And you'll see my website below here as well. Thank you so much.